Welcome to my 100th episode of the movie review series. Took me 6 years to get this far. Yes. Now, unlike Let's Hit the Comic Corner, what got to 100 pretty quickly, this series didn't come out on a regular basis as, let's say, the Comic Corner. Because a lot of the time that there wasn't a lot of movies I wanted to review, and even though I have a good collection of movies to talk about, yeah, the thing with this is that I didn't have like these constantly basis, and it wasn't something that I needed to do right away once I finished like watching or whatever, unless of course it's anime related. hmm Yep. But who knew that the first episode of the series, which was at the time I originally called the series the DVD review series 6 years ago, and in my very first episode ever, I did a review of Friday the 13th, the first film. Yeah, which I split into two parts. Now, I basically, here's kind of the strange thing about it. Yeah, if you notice, if you watch the first episode of the series, you probably notice by part two I'm wearing a different shirt. There's a reason for that, because it took me a few days to get back to the series, because at the time I was actually recording it via YouTube video capture. That's what pretty much what I did my first I would say 2 years of basically like recording videos before I got Windows Movie Maker, which is what I'm using right now for my videos. And I've been using it now for the past 4 years. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's fantastic. And for one thing, unlike, let's say, the YouTube capture, which that kept failing on me a lot because my Wi-Fi, this one, I don't have to worry about it very much. Nope, it very rarely crashes on me. I think the last time it happened was about 2 years ago. hmm Yep. But what am I reviewing for my 100th episode? How about the first one of the series where it came out 40 years ago this year? What's the name of the film? Alien. Yep. This is the Alien anthology collection of the films. I actually got this, believe it or not, 5 years ago. Yes, 5 years ago from Walmart. I got this about $36 for the damn thing. Yeah. And the thing about this particular set is that not only contains the original four films, it's printed like an actual book. It's like you open it up and you get a chance to see like in introductions to the damn thing. Like you see the DVDs, here's the first one, and you see like the space jockey from the film. It has pretty much like all the films, like all four films in here, which I'll get to those. And of course there is special and there's like the Alien archives. The Alien, yeah, you basically get like behind the scenes. Of course, this is basically made for Blu-ray. Yeah, it also comes with this viewer's guide. Yeah, it actually comes with this, which I thought was so nice. The fact it does not come with a poster. Nope, it does not. Yeah, I found this at the Wesley Chapel Walmart. Well, I got this. Now, I didn't pay like full like $36 for this damn thing. You see, when I got this particular thing, I got it as part of a discount. It was about I think it was about $5 off I got for this damn thing. So I am paying like $30 for this particular collection. Now, what about the first film for this particular series? It was released in 1979. It was made by Fox. Yes, the same studio who just recently this year got bought by Disney. So yes, Disney owns the rights to this franchise. Yep. Now, the behind the scenes stuff is quite interesting. Now, Ridley Scott actually volunteered to be the director for this movie. And if you watch this particular film, the set they use, yes, this is an actual real set that they built, not a green screen like occasionally they might use nowadays. This was an actually built, and this film had two really big names attached to this particular film. You had John Hurt, the guy who later won an Academy Award for the film Elephant Man, and he was also his last known physical appearance he made on screen was when he played the War Doctor in Doctor Who. Fantastic actor he was. And of course, Sigourney Weaver. Yep, this film made her household name. And like I said, when I reviewed Star Trek The Motion Picture, this was released the same year. Mm-hmm. Yes, the very same year. Yep. And here's something quite odd, interesting you might tell about this particular series. Each film has got a different director. This one, of course, has got Ridley Scott. The next film has got a completely different one. We'll talk about the next episode. The other people in this particular film who's actually here are the following people. We also have Lance Henderson. Yes. Yeah. Well known for being in this film. And he was also recently in Legends of Tomorrow playing Obsidian. A character created by Roy Thomas back in the 80s. A character who has a dark force power and he's gay. Yep. And luckily enough, the live action portrayal of the guy is in fact gay. Which I appreciated that. Actually, Lance Henderson was the next film. Yeah, this is the alien. My mistake. Yeah. He's in the next film. Like the tagline for this film was, get this. It was, no one in space can hear you scream. hmm Now, the design of this suit is actually the one who created the xenomorph was made by H.R. Geiger. hmm Yeah, he's the one who's credited for creating the xenomorph, and he's still credited this very day, despite the fact that the guy himself, I think, has since passed away. Yeah, it's one of his most famous creations. It is so good. And in case you're wondering, yeah, it's a guy in a suit who actually, well, he passed away like 3 years ago. But man, the guy was fantastic when it comes to designing stuff. Like I'm looking at an image right now, designing sculptures inside of a gun. Yeah, the guy was a freaking genius. Well, I could tell. And like the story for this film is this: that you have the characters waking up from being suspended animation for about 3 months. Yep, 3 months. Oh, and by the way, this is one of the very few sci-fi movies not to involve Earth. Yes, the first time they actually show Earth in this particular film series is the next film, which I'll get to that in episode 101. Mm-hmm. Yep. So basically, they detected a let's say a signal on the planet LV-27. I think it's LV-27 or it's LT-26. It is. I think it's L-27. I think it is right. L-26. Okay. Yeah. LV-426. Yeah. So they take an away team down there, and they come across the big, huge horseshoe-shaped ship. Yeah. This is an actual model. They actually sort of made bigger via camera. Yeah. And they go inside. Well, they're all wearing spaces because this place has no freaking atmosphere. They go inside. You see the infamous space jockey. That's what they refer to him as, a space jockey. And we don't know, like, at the time, what species this guy is. Of course, we get a very dumb explanation in the film Prometheus of what the heck this creature is. Apparently, Ridley Scott was so curious about this one damn alien. Yes, and apparently they created the xenomorphs. Yep. Now, the music is done by the awesome Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah. Also, Yaphet Kotto's in this movie. Yep. Yaphet Kotto is chief engineer. Yeah, the thing with this guy is, aside from this film, I've only seen him in one other film, and that was Live and Let Die, and I've seen him in one TV show, Homicide, Life on the Street, where he played the squad's lieutenant. Awesome character he was in the show. Well, I didn't watch his first air, I watched it online. Fantastic show it was. Never got a chance to finish watching the film because YouTube apparently cut off the ending for some reason. I don't know why, it's particularly weird. But it also had crossovers with Law and Order, which I thought was really interesting. Wasn't as on as long as Law and Order, but it was on a pretty period of time. And one of the characters in the show, John Munch, who was pretty much the main character of the entirety of the show, got moved over to Law and Order SVU, where he was there for quite some time. He was there for most of the series run. Though after the fourth season, the guy didn't appear in like a lot of the episodes. Like he would appear in about 5 or 6 episodes per season. Yeah. But as for the film itself, one of the characters, which is of course John Hurt's character, comes across an egg. What's inside this egg? A face hugger. Yes. They later identify these things as face huggers. This film they don't identify him as that. They just say cover his face up. They try to get. They basically had to fight Ripley, like not physically per se, but basically argue with her that the captain should take full responsibility, and she was more concerned with the safety of the ship than basically because Sigourney Weaver's character was going to be somewhat of a jerk in this film. So he gets in via his override code. They try to move the thing, and they cut one of its little finger things that's on John Hurt's face, and it basically shoots acid blood. Burns to about 3 decks. Yeah, this actually becomes a plot point in the very next film. Not in the case of the next 2 films. Oh no, they don't talk about this particular thing at all. And then after the thing is removed, he goes down to the kitchen, has himself some meat, and then apparently it's like, oh, maybe it's something I agree with him. And then his chest explodes. Yeah, the chest burst to make his first appearance. And the thing runs about, and the whole crew has to basically run around the whole damn ship looking for this damn thing. And one by one of each of the crew was killed, except for Bishop and Ripley. Yep, these 2 are the only ones not technically killed by the xenomorph. Here's kind of the thing about the xenomorph. Yeah, of all the other things we associate with the Alien film franchise, they don't call it a xenomorph. They're just simply an alien. It's not called that into the very next film. Thank you, James Cameron's writer, basically, for clarifying that. And they basically end up destroying the damn ship, and Ripley had to take the cat on board. I think it's her cat, and just go in the escape pod. And well, they think that she's got away, and of course, the ship exploded. But the xenomorph decided to start away in the ship, sleep on the show. So, shoves the damn thing up into space. Then she goes to sleep, and then she wakes up in the future. I'm not kidding about that. That's what happens with her in the sequel. Yeah, the thing about this particular film is it is so good to watch. It's a great sci-fi horror film. Next one was more sci-fi action, which apparently the type of thing also helped kill the damn sequels. Yep. But when it comes to the film Alien, it is still very popular with people. Yes, it's an R-rated movie, but it's still popular. Do not show this to your kids. It will be absolutely disgusting, especially a little kid screaming at a guy, being scared of a guy who has chest burst open by a freaking alien from the inside. Yes. Yeah, bursted right through his damn sternum. Yeah, that's the way it looked like in the film. Yeah. The special effects in this film are fantastic. Hold up really well, surprisingly, for the way this film was. The film was a big hit. It grossed, at the box office, this was, of course, 1970s money. The budget was $10 to $11 million. The box office was between 104 to 203 million. Which actually is pretty good for a sci-fi movie, especially with the budget as low as $10 million. Yep. But you're probably thinking, did the sequel come out within the next 2 or 3 years? Nope. It took 7 years to release a damn sequel. Yeah, because at the time, Fox was not interested in doing a sequel. Well, this lasted for about 4 years until they had the head of the studio change, and he was very interested in doing a sequel. But I'll talk more about that when I talk about Aliens in the next episode. Yep. What rating do I give this particular film? 9 out of 10. That's the rating I give the first Alien film. It is fantastic. Film is still good. Series with next film, but starting with the third film, we go downhill. Yep. So yeah. That's it for this particular review. Alright, stay tuned for my next review, which will be a review of the next chapter of My Hero Academia. Yep, I'm actually going to do that. Then we do a Comic Corner. And that'll be it for today for videos, okay? But until you see the next video, bye.